What is up, everybody? I hope you're having a wonderful day. And it's been a while that I've talked about my three favorite weapons, and things have changed a little bit, so I figured I'd go over what are my three favorite weapons in the game right now. These could change again in the future, but hey, these are the ones I find to be my favorite. Now, the first one is kind of basic, I guess, and maybe a lot of people probably don't really like this weapon, but it's just the swords, the one-handed swords. I don't know why, but I realized that probably at least 50 to 60% of my units have a sword for their weapon, so I must really like one-handed swords. I have to, because the majority of my party uses it. And for the finishers, it's alright. It's alright. I like Vile Wound because it poisons, even though I don't use it that much. And, multiple target hit with Cherry Rondo, and, divine. It's nice. You got divine damage, and then you got. It's got some options, Even Rending Gale, when it was like the first one you get, I like that. I like that attack, But I don't know. Swords just feel like they are just a. How do you say it? A jack of all trades weapon or something, or like the average weapon, or the go-to. I don't know. I don't know the way to describe it, but they seem to be the most balanced, the most in the middle weapon. I don't know. I can't figure out the words, but I really like them. I think they're good, and that's why they're number 3, because the majority of my squad uses it. Now, another weapon that might not be for the weapon, but I really like casters. Okay, I'm big on the casters, mages, and almost every single one of them has a cudgel. So, due to the fact that probably about 30% of my team has cudgels, that only leaves like 20% left, if we got 60 and 20. So the other, or 50 and 30. So 30% of my team uses cudgels because I have a lot of mages, and I like mages because I like summons, but I even liked them before they had summons. I just like sitting in the back and casting magic, doing AoEs, doing huge single target damage. That's something I'd enjoy in every kind of game I play. And yeah, cudgels are definitely one of them. Now, do they have good finishers? I guess. I mean, I rarely use these finishers because the MP is being used on spells, but they are very good. And I'm not ranking these number 2. I'm ranking these kind of tied with swords because they are like a just double class thing. I just have the majority of them, and you kind of need them on a caster. So I figure if I use something a lot, it has to be good. Same thing with swords. So they're both third. This isn't my second favorite. It's just kind of like, I realize I use it a lot, so it has to be good. But I honestly think the only reason I use it, to be honest though, is for the range. If they didn't have spell range, I probably wouldn't use cudgels nearly as much, because they don't really provide that much extra, You're not going to really use their finishers. I don't know. But anyway, number 2, this is one I fell in love with kind of recently, but that's Daggers. Daggers are just so awesome, and it's not even their finishers, which are amazing. It's just the speed that you have. The low RT cost of Daggers greatly helps to keep a unit agile, keep them mobile, keep them getting their turns. And the finishers are good. Probably my favorite is Shadow Pin because of Stop. I really like Stop. I think Stop is great. But overall, Daggers are just a solid choice, one I slept on through almost the whole game. I ignored Daggers all the way up to Chapter 4 because I am a fool. Don't make my mistake. But number 1, and I'm sure a lot of people might agree with this one because, I mean, why wouldn't you? It's Spears. Spears are amazing, and I'm still using a Scorpion on my other Rune Fencer. I got this thing in Chapter 2, just because of the poison. I love Spears. I think Spears are great. I think they are just all around an amazing weapon. Not only because they have reach, which greatly helps. I mean, you can go 2 to 3 squares, so that's huge. Because you don't get counterattacked, obviously. I mean, you basically avoid the majority of counterattacks unless the enemy has a spear, or like a whip, I guess. But the finishers are also good. The finishers are also decent. They're not like the best in the world, but they are very good to me. And overall, I think the spear is the best weapon in the game. It just sucks that not a lot of units can use the spear. I even have a spear on my other White Knight because spears are just that good. I think I have about 3 or 4 units of spears, so I mean, like I said, there's not as many that can use like cudgels and swords and that, but spears are great, highly recommend. It's just, there's just the ability to avoid a counterattack can be so huge, especially when that enemy can hit you really hard. So just solid weapon. Whips kind of do the same thing, but you know, they're different in a lot of ways. But these are my 3 favorite weapons, with I guess technically 4 because I kind of put a 2 in 1. But what are your guys' favorite? What weapons do you enjoy? What weapons do you find to be the most fun to use? What weapons fit your playstyle? Why do they fit your playstyle? You know, maybe I'm sleeping on the axes. You know, maybe I'm sleeping on axes and whips. You know, I don't really like axes and whips. Maybe, you know, maybe I'm missing something. Let me know down below, guys. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. And I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, later, guys. Peace out. Have a good one.